Hello all! You join me on a brisk, very brisk Wednesday morning. It is a northeastern winter morning. It is 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is somewhere in the vicinity of negative 10 degrees centigrade. Quite chilly. I am smoking a Drew Estate Tobacco Especial. This one is not the Café con Leche. This is the, I believe this is the Dolce Negra, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, fantastic morning cigar. It's not too big, so you don't spend a whole lot of time doing it. It's perfect for a morning commute, and I have an hour-long commute each way. It's a 62-mile drive into my office. Pair the Drew Estate Tobacco Especial with a lovely Wegmans Colombian roast, and you have it made for the morning commute. I mean, this is absolute perfection. Even if you don't like flavored cigars, the Drew Estate Tobacco is truly tough to beat. And I'm not actually much for flavored cigars. Usually I like an unflavored cigar, but I'll tell you, for a morning commute with a nice cup of coffee, because it is infused with coffee beans and I believe chocolate, it's truly delightful. It's like a nice morning treat. It's like a snack almost. It's fantastic. Drew Estate makes some very tough cigars to beat. The Drew Estate Java, the latte and the mint, those are fantastic. And again, even if you don't like flavored cigars, they are quite appealing. You know, I do tend to go for the unflavored cigars myself, but in the mornings, with a cup of coffee, this is delightful. I'm driving my Toyota Avalon this morning. It's a car I love dearly. I have had it for 10 years. I've driven it all over the country. Before it became my personal vehicle, it was a company car. I bought it from my company. And I've driven it all over the place. There was even a time when I was driving it daily, 200 miles each way to New Jersey for about a summer, and then intermittently throughout for the better part of a year. This car is just delightful. The Avalon is one of the most underrated vehicles. You can't buy them anymore, actually. I was about to say that you can still buy, but you can't buy them. And that is such a shame, because it is so comfortable. It is truly one of the most comfortable vehicles I've ever had the pleasure of driving and riding in. They just sail down the highway, and they're so fluffy. It's such an underrated experience, and you put your foot down in this thing. You have the V6, and it sails. But there are so many nice touches about this vehicle that I have just truly grown to appreciate, like the soft close windows. Soft close windows are so underrated. I'll demonstrate to you here. So it goes down at a normal rate, and then you can choose. Now it's not doing it. It has soft closed windows, but there's a trick to it. Okay, well, soft closed windows aren't working this morning for my video demonstration. Of course they don't. I promise you it has soft closed windows, but maybe I did something with the settings when I was fiddling around with it earlier. The idea, anyway, of soft closed windows, and I really actually don't know why they are not soft closing now. They were literally doing it before I hit record. But I have to walk you through the intricacies of a window that slows down on the way up. I promise you, it has soft close windows. And I'm going to keep this in the video because that's actually rather amusing. But the point is, if you're trying to modulate how much of a crack you want to have your window open, the soft close, I mean, maybe it's a safety feature, but I envision it more like you can control how much of the window you want cracked. So if you like your window cracked, you can have it, you know, you can fine tune that, and it slows it down for you so you can dial it in exactly. Now I'm annoyed. Now I'm actually annoyed because, okay, well, okay, that's it's not supposed to do that. I wonder if you do it enough times, if it just assumes that you are not wanting it to be soft closed. I don't know. Anyway, I am wearing my Casio, okay, my Casio calculator watch. This is the, what's it, the CA53W or something like that. Fantastic watch. This particular one that I'm wearing is my is the 2020 release. I have both. I've got the classic black case variant, and I have this one, which is the cream white, sort of beige case version with the inverted dial. It was a slight oversight on Casio's part, though, because normally you have no trouble reading an LCD screen in plain sunlight, but with this inverted dial, it's very difficult to read, which I'm not a fan of. I wish that Casio maybe put some anti-reflective coating or something on the crystal. It's tough to read, so that was an oversight on Casio's part. I do like an inverted dial. It's just this one's very difficult to read. Which kind of spoils the whole experience, because you go to look at the time, which is the whole point of a watch, and even though it's very neat and it's gimmicky and everything, you can't actually fulfill the purpose for which the watch was originally created, which is ultimately to tell the time. So I wish that they maybe made the display a little bit clearer. Anyway. Let's get back to the car quickly, because I wanted to walk through. I have this. I retrofitted an Android Auto head unit into this thing. I put a Sony head unit into it. It's the, I want to say it's the XV3200 head unit, something like that. Not sure exactly which one, but underneath of the center console, I tore the center console out and installed a wireless Android Auto Apple CarPlay dongle by Motorola. So now I can have my phone on my person, not have to worry about taking that out. It's really a nice nice arrangement. The head unit works absolutely fantastically. If I had to pick my single biggest gripe with the Toyota Avalon, it's not the front wheel drive, although that is a bit of a point of contention. And I might do a video on this car a little bit later, maybe for my drive home. But my biggest point of contention, especially as an audiophile, that the stock stereo system. I have heard both the stock system and the JBL, the upgraded JBL system, which this one is not. And they're both terrible. They are both equally bad. And I don't know what it is about the stock system. I don't know. It's just like a rubbish DSP or something like that in the head unit. So I upgraded the head unit. Night and day difference. I understand their intricacies and sort of the quality of the circuitry and the sound processing and the amplifier, but really making that head unit change or upgrade made all of the difference in the world. That being said, the speakers still suck, and I'm not exactly familiar with the technicalities of YouTube copyright yet, so I won't play a sample, and it's not like you'd be able to really make that distinction anyway. But the tweeters have a roughness about them. The mids are a little overpowering. In the stock head unit, the mids are definitely overpowering. And I'm more of a jazz, classical, and sort of progressive rock aficionado myself. So I like things to sound smoother. And this overblows the mids. The speakers overblow the mids. There are some interior assembly issues with this thing. I've installed sound deadening in this car throughout the whole thing. I've had the headliner out, and there's actually sound deadening material towards the back. There's sound deadening material here. I've had the door panel off. So I know what I'm doing, and I can isolate vibrations and such. Eventually I'll upgrade the speakers, but for now this head unit does a pretty good job, especially with the 10-band EQ. I'd like a 12-band, but this one doesn't facilitate that. It still sounds good. So, but my biggest point of contention with this car, period, is the sound system. And Toyota, when they produced this car, they marketed it as that's their flagship car in North America, and they actually sold this body style, I believe, in other countries as under a different name, although I can't quite recall at the moment. I used to know what it was. I used to know a lot more than I know now. That's the problem when you get a little comfortable with your existence. You tend to not be as sharp because you don't seek things out, I think, in the same way, and that's why I believe that comfort is the enemy of success. So even if you become successful, usually it's through application of the self. But once you get there, you kind of lose sight of things. So I used to know what the Toyota Avalon was called in other countries, and I no longer do. Well, I do. I know it. I just can't remember it. Which I guess is an extension of not knowing. But I'm pulling into my workplace now, so I'm going to cut this video short. Would love to further expound upon all of these weird musings of mine. Oh, that's nice. Let me see if I can get this to soft. Yes, it's soft closed! It must be a timer thing. Okay. I think it's a timer thing. If you open and close it frequently enough, it operates on a timer. Okay. All right, people. Well, it's been lovely. I'll get this video posted, and you can dislike it if it was a waste of your time. Or you can like it. Oh no, I got Wegmans Colombian roast coffee on my jacket. Look at my jacket. Okay. Alright, how's my hair? Alright, peeps. There it is. There is the soft close of the Avalon. Talk to you later. Bye.